morning. It's Ginny and Tim, and
Hello.
we are going to talk about AI for everyone instead of just for security and
Not
all
just
that
for
kind
nerds.
of right. Not just for nerds like us. For AI for everyone. But
Yeah.
before I do, go to our website, dstech.net. Make sure you drop your questions under this video so that we can talk more about what you want to hear about. So let's start out with, you know what? A lot of people think that AI is actually intelligent.
No, AI is very dumb. That's the first thing you'll learn with using AI. When
They
you start
call
using
it artificial intelligence,
Yep.
but it's not.
No,
right?
it's basically like more of an automation tool than anything. It's not really intelligence. I don't like using the term AI because it's just like doing things automatically, kind of in a sense. So it looks like it's intelligent, but it's literally still just following instructions that were programmed by a human. It's not able to like re-replicate itself, at least at this point. And I'm sure there's things in place to hopefully prevent that from happening.
And it's using the data that us humans gave it.
You give bad data to your AI. Your AI is going to give bad data out too.
Yep.
It's just going to be what it knows, what it learns. It's just like teaching a person something. If you teach them incorrectly, they're going to do something wrong because it's what they know. And so it's not able to like self-reflect on, am I giving the wrong answer? It's not intelligent in a sense like that.
Right.
So my advice is, if you haven't used any AI at all, is go ahead and start practicing. Sign up for one for free. Get used to just asking it questions, because kind of like when search engines first came out back in the internet early stages, it's like there's things called Boolean search that were more technical and things like that, where people could get more out of their search if they knew how to do that. But then, it's still there. You can still do it, yes. But I mean, that's what I'm saying is like people could learn to search and you would get better results. And it's like, how quickly can you find results? It's like some people are better at Googling stuff than others. It's just because you learn to ask it and phrase things a certain way by just trial and error that it's like innate. You don't even think about it. AI is the same way. If you ask it a question, you can ask it a question 5 different ways, and you might get 5 different answers depending on how you ask the question to it. So learning how to query it or ask a specific phrase really will help get you more out of the AI. And so it's better to just start practicing with it now, because it's going to become more of an everyday thing. Even though you're not directly interfacing with AI, it might be more, I just look like a search engine. Instead of asking a search engine something and now you got to look through 20 websites to try to find your answer, it's almost like if you hit a search engine, you ask it something and it's going to give you the answer right up front that it thinks you already know. So it kind of saves you that secondary discernment step. Now you can take the answer from it and still decide if you want to ask it a follow-up or say, oh, that's kind of wrong, and you can actually correct the AI. And if everyone's doing that together, it will help make it more intelligent. That's the idea, is mass learning, where it gives you an incorrect answer, you can say, well, that's actually incorrect, here's this, and then it will learn and improve for this next time. So
just as an example, I had it come up with an outline for me, and the outline it gave me was really technical, and I was like, okay, but the audience I'm talking to
your audience.
They were home users. They're not people that are very technical at all or know the terms. So I just told it, I said,
remove all acronyms.
I said, this is way too technical for the people I'm talking to. And then I told it the kind of
customer
people
you're doing.
Exactly.
And tailored it to them.
And then it came back with something much less technical and much easier to understand. So it's, you give it some feedback and it'll give you what you want. You just keep at it. Keep talking to it and talk to it like a normal. Just talk normal.
Exactly. Just kind of, ask it questions and stuff. So obviously most people are using it in business right now, creating blog posts, a lot of news articles. News is like 90% AI driven now, with rough drafts being created. Anything that creates like lots of media to consume, like media marketing is huge in AI right now. A lot of that kind of stuff. But I see it becoming more intertwined in other aspects where, like, if you work, for example, at a law firm and you're a lawyer, imagine having an AI bot that has all of case law for whatever state you exist in at your fingertips, where you could say, hey, I have a person who has a winter parking ticket in February in this town, but there was no snow. Give me all, and it could just maybe get you out of a quick parking ticket or something. I don't know. I'm just thinking like something that normally would be really hard for a human to digest all of this data that's impossible. You can now have it at a quick query, and then you might be able to get relevant stuff quickly. Or like in the medical field, where you show up to a thing and you have like an AI bot that's like, well, based on all of this person's medical history and all of known medical history, there could be maybe these 4 things wrong with them. And then it's up to a doctor to maybe take the final decision and look and tailor it. So it could speed up diagnostics on people, possibly, like a virtual house, kind of that.
I saw a demo where this person had taken a course, and there was a PDF that came with the course that had all the data in it and their notes. So they upload the PDF to ChatGPT and
Yep.
then like totally limited it to that PDF so they could
Right.
ask
Only
questions.
ask from this data
Yeah.
and nothing else, right?
Yeah. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
That
so you
was
make
pretty
your own
cool.
quick little search engine, and then when you're going through it, it's like has all that data right there. So yeah, that's the thing is the public ones, right? They're just taking all the free data in and trying to give you the best answer. And then there are a lot of that's what's happening now behind closed doors. A lot of companies are creating their own AI internal systems where you can basically go through all the data you have in a database and have it be searchable a lot quicker using AI and things like that. But you just want to make it in a secure and in a proper and a safe way, right? So ways you can do it. This is supposed to be more for AI for everyone at
Yeah,
home.
sorry.
So I know we're kind of getting sidetracked with some of the business use case there.
We can't help it
That's where it
because
is.
that's our everyday
Yep.
life, right?
Yep.
So, okay.
But at home, some good things like the virtual assistants can be helping you with AI. Like you have like the Google bots, the Series, and all the different ones and things like that. You can basically have them do
Hey, you can put
reminders,
Copilot
music,
on
all
your
that
phone.
stuff. You put Copilot on your
I have
phone
it on
and
my
ask it
phone.
stuff. Yep.
So.
So you can put using those. They usually are built into some of the AIs. You can ask them things and kind of just practice with that query, asking the questions and seeing what kind of answers you get from it.
Even in your browser. In your browser, it's right there.
Yeah, it's like
It'll-
right in
it'll
the
give
bring up
you-
the
Yeah.
whatever the different flavors. If depending the browser you're in, it'll have the various
Microsoft
AI.
Edge specifically.
Yep. And I see it's going to be kind of like almost when search engines came out, you had like 20 companies all doing search, and at the end of the day, there's like Google and Yahoo, and who even uses Yahoo anymore, right? So it's just I see that happening with AI,
Oh,
where
yeah.
there's going to be all these different AIs trying to create these things, and there may be niches where certain ones are used for certain cases, but over it, there's probably gonna be like 2 or 3 that are like taking over that are going to do
Yeah.
the best, and the market will eventually just show that. Is kind of how I see it happening long
Yep.
term.
Same thing.
You can also use AI to make you more creative. That's another spot. That's actually you see the images that are being creative. People are writing books, poems, all kinds of stuff where the AI will basically spit out a good rough draft. It's still up to a human to create the final touches, the artistic style, whether it be an image or a video or anything like that. But the AI can definitely help. If you get writer's block
Oh,
or you
yeah.
get image block, you're like, hey, I
Yep.
want to do something like this. Can you give me some examples? It'll spit out 10 examples, and you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. Maybe take it, tweak it, make your own. So using it for art and creative purposes.
I use it for brainstorming.
Yep.
For brainstorming ideas. I'm like, okay, so I have these ideas,
Right.
AI, help me with some actual list of like
Yeah, give me like 10 things about this.
headlines or whatever. Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And so it can definitely help in the brainstorming process, giving you some ideas when you get that like writer's block kind
Yeah.
of cramp there. That's definitely will help. It does make life easier than like within smartphones and smart homes. I've even seen it like the new, I'm not shilling for it. I've just seen it like there was the new Samsung Galaxy, and I'm sure other phones do it too, where they have like AI built into the thing now automatically that was used to be in Photoshop. So like if you took a picture of someone and in the background someone photobombed you, now you can pretty much tap them and it just erases them and then fills it in
Yes.
automatically for them in the back.
My Pixel has that.
Your Pixel has it. Yes. A lot of these
You literally just go
photo-
like this
Yep.
and it's gone.
a lot of that is using AI, because what the AI is doing is looking at all the pixels that are surrounding the image and then filling in what it thinks is best based on the existing data available in the image. So that's an AI task
That
that's
used
being
to
built
be
into your phone. That used to be
really
expensive.
intensive.
You used to have to open in Photoshop, get a program in Photoshop, and maybe wait like a minute for it to do its thing. And this was back, it's a lot quicker now, obviously with
Or
technology.
you had to zoom into all the little pixels and hand take them out.
Yes, that,
And
even
put-
before the AI part, you had to do that. Then you use Smudge and then
It would-
clone and all these.
Yes.
It's just it was very,
Hours.
Yes, hours.
Hours.
Yes, hours to fill, especially if it was like in front of grass or something technical. Good luck filling that in the back.
It's amazing. Now you just go, whoop,
Now you hit a button.
it's gone.
So, and so the same thing with
It's
like
so
smart
nice.
homes too. I personally, I don't like the smart stuff at home because it's more troubleshooting. I do it at home. I just like to have manual stuff. But for those who do like to have the AI stuff, it can be handy. You can have schedules set up where it's automatically turning on based on needs. So think of a smart thermostat where you're like in the summertime, you have maybe a certain schedule of when you're having the AC kick on and turn off and things like that. Imagine if you had one that's so smart that would look at the outside temperature and then heat your house based on the outside temperature based on what you parameters had it. That's like what AI does, where it'll take an extra set or two of data, intertwine it to then automatically adjust based on that. So it's like if you're like if you use AI in the shipping business, again, we're going to business a little bit, but like say you used AI in the shipping business and you tied it into like a weather thing, and then you have the schedules of all your truck drivers. Now you could have the truck driver schedules automatically be adjusted based on the weather that's expected to happen in the area automatically for your dispatchers. That'd be pretty neat and save a lot of time. And it's probably already happening in some industries like that, but that's just where AI is going to kind of take
I know
this
that
data together.
at home, Alexa knows that we're always asking it to turn on the lights at a certain time. So
Yep.
it says, would you like me to create a routine so I automatically turn the lights on? at dusk
Oh,
or whatever.
okay,
And
yeah.
I'm like, of course you do.
Yep.
So
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's again where they're using the data that they're taking and looking for patterns and then trying to make
Yeah.
your life more optimized. So, so things to remember with all of this is AI is still learning. AI is still dumb. It's only taking
Yeah.
the data you're giving it and giving you answers. So don't just take the answers they give you as face value. Always still do your due diligence. Maybe check in and vet them too.
Now that you say that, I mentioned in a different talk, I'm like, there's still copyright laws out there and AI
Yep.
doesn't know about them.
Yeah.
AI is taking data from people. So don't just copy and paste.
Yes, exactly.
Because you might be
you might have
copying.
taken like it might give you like a quote from a book that's copyrighted. Now you're taking it thinking that you can use it somewhere and maybe it was already copyrighted and it was just giving it to you, because that's still kind of like in flux, right? Is like you take stuff from AI, in theory it's all supposed to be open and AI generated, but if what it's generating is actually a direct copy quote of something, that can still get you in trouble, as well as they're still kind of figuring out the legalities of it with anything. The law's going to be behind technology and they're trying to figure out like maybe the data that's going into the AI is copyrighted and you can copyright that, like your training data, but the data coming out isn't copyrighted, and there's some stuff in the flux right now with some of that going on. So
yeah,
it'll be
that's
interesting to see how
and
that all
it is
buffs
interesting.
out.
But in other words, just don't copy and paste. Like use it for ideas.
Add your own touch. I always
And-
tell people use
yeah.
it as a rough draft. Still
Yeah.
don't just take it and paste it, read through it, and maybe add a few things and tweak it just like anything, so yeah. Obviously it's a tool, use it responsibly with common sense, and that's a sad thing too. We don't get into it too much here, but the nefarious, the hackers, the bad people out there are
They're
using
using
AI
it too, yeah.
to try to do more attacks, more automated as well. But then on the flip side of that, the good guys are using AI then in the defense. So it's going to be a tool used both ways. And so again, yeah, just fun with AI, play games. From chess to complex strategy games. Now, this is a silly story of mine. It's like a personal one I'll just put out there. It's not really AI, but it was just like, as a kid, I liked to play chess. It was silly, whatever it was. And this was back in like Yahoo Chat, like 98, whatever. It was pretty early on in the internet days. And so I had my CD disc of Chessmaster 2000 or whatever it was I was playing on my Windows 95 machine. And what I would do, I was a little, I don't know, kind of cheater, I guess, is I would play the Chessmaster game on the hardest difficulty possible, like Chessmaster 100, whatever. I would play the hardest difficulty. Then I would go online and play someone. And then I would always be basically black to let them go first. And then I let them go first, and whatever they did to me, I would go into the game and play against the computer. And then the computer, whatever it did against me, I would then go in the game and play against the person. So it was like they were playing the hardest version of Chessmaster without realizing it. So that's fun with AI. So you can do little fun, little silly things that's not harmful online, but just you can play around with it, use it, and yeah. So
Well, I know-
it's for everyone, not just techies. There's a couple examples out there.
Those smart devices have all kinds of little games on them that you can play.
Yeah.
Like guess this song and trivia and all kinds of stuff. So I think Alexa even has like an immersive one where like you pretend it's like escape room type thing
Okay.
where you like follow the story.
Follow the story and like pick
then,
the path
yeah.
and try to get through it and stuff. And
So
that's the neat thing is the AI will start generating that stuff. Imagine like an old school, there's like called pick your path book where you kind of get to a point, you can choose which way to go, and then you kind of work through the book. Well, imagine a book like that where there's almost like 10,000 different paths because it's generating the path based on what's already happening. So it's a unique experience every single time. Like that's what AI is going to be able to do. So
that's cool.
yeah, anyway.
Anyway. So AI for your daily life and
Yeah.
use it responsibly. And if you need help with your network and AI on your network, make sure you reach out, get your free assessment so that you're ready for it, so that you're not
Yeah, if you're
opening
thinking
it.
AI for
Yeah.
business, definitely reach out. We'll help make sure you've got everything squared away and good with that. And biggest thing is make sure all the permissions are down and you're enabling it properly. You don't want to just turn your AI on and do all your data because it's going to be a bad time.
Yeah, we don't want you to have a bad time. So
Yeah.
definitely reach out at dstech.net where you can sign up for your free assessment or ask us questions. Drop them below
Yeah.
the video. And we'll see you next time.